And if you're down for more infotainment, information, and entertainment, like and subscribe in between the lines.
We going from playoff football from the NFL to the college football playoffs.
Here we go.
We not gonna discuss much how Indiana just rolled on Bama. Bama is still getting rolled up. They still fumbling somewhere the way Indiana destroyed them 38-3. Texas Tech still looking for their offense because they ain't show up neither. Or that Oregon defense was just that doggone good. Then I must obviously speak on my Buckeyes. I feel like this was in regards to Miami been waiting since 20 years. They've been waiting 20 years for this game, or they was waiting 20 years for Payback, and we got off the bus initially in the first half just like it was a regular game. We didn't have the same anticipation, same intensity. We didn't match what they came out with, and we tried to come back in the end. And that's all it was. Disappointing. However, we gonna regroup and we'll be back. Miami deserved it. Like I said, they came out looking like they've been waiting for this opportunity for 20 plus years, and that's exactly what happened. They got their win. But the most shocking upset, as you picked Miami to win that game against Ohio State for sure, and we mentioned it was back and forth. The most shocking upset was Ole Miss beating UGA without Lane Kiffin for the Sugar Bowl. Joe, just speaking on those two games, what's your thoughts? Which one was more surprising for you? Of course, Ole Miss probably was more surprising, but those was the two games to watch if you didn't watch any games this weekend. What's your thoughts on that college football playoffs thus far? Just recapping from those previous games.
Yeah, Vaughn. Both games were surprising. None too much more surprising than the other. But I knew Miami against Ohio State, that was going to come down to just Carson Beck. Carson Beck did not win the game, but my goodness, he sure did not lose it. No turnovers by him. That gives that Miami Hurricanes team a chance to win. You know, when you unleash those defensive ends and unleash the secondary, and just that Julian Sayin and that offense for the Ohio State Buckeyes just couldn't find a rhythm. And when they did find their rhythm, it was a little bit too late. And that is the recipe. That's the time that Ryan Day goes and look back at it, and he says that Jeremiah Smith needs to have 25 targets. He had a great game. What more do you ask him to do? But you got to find some way to just force feed him and get the job done that way. But again, Miami is a team that made it up to number 2 in the nation during the regular season, so they are no slouch. When you talk about head-to-head, defense-to-defense, Miami's played top-notch opponents, and those guys, remember, the 2 games that they lost, Miami, Carson Beck threw 6 interceptions. So that's why I have so much riding on Carson Beck. So Miami, roll Hurricanes, and go ACC. The next game was so surprising, Vaughn, not because of the talent level, because Ole Miss is talented. Quarterback, the plethora of wide receivers, Lacey in the backfield, just that defense that's opportunistic, defensive number 52 defensive lineman getting to the quarterback. But to do that without their, the leader, the CEO in Lane Kiffin that's been there the last 3 years, to do that with a guy that's only coaching his second game in Pete Golden, to make some mistakes early and going for it in time management and not getting 3 points before the half. All those things go against, stay in that game and find a way down. And to have Coach Kirby Smart be out of character. Coach Kirby Smart went for it on 4th down with a fake punt, got it, which was a brilliant call. Remember, he went for that when they were down, up 2. They were up 21-19, but he just felt that momentum was slipping. And they went for it, that 4th down. And the next 4th down that they faced, he went for it on their own 28, maybe own 30-yard line. That's uncharacteristic of a Coach Kirby Smart coach team, only down 3 points. And I have to give credit to Ole Miss for that because they forced Coach Kirby Smart to make decisions that he doesn't normally make because of the offensive pressure, because of the inability to be able to get stops against the Ole Miss offense. So for Charlie Weiss Jr. to be able to have those play calls and be able to call that game plan, orchestrate that game plan without Lane Kiffin being on that sideline, very, very, very impressive. And I give them a very good shot to try or to beat Miami. And I think that's going to be a toss-up game between Ole Miss and Miami because that is talent all across the football field when you look at Miami versus Ole Miss.
Well, we might as well go ahead and predict our semifinals. Well, I'm not predicting. You already know I chose my squad, and we gonna lay where we at.
And if you're down for more infotainment, information, and entertainment, like and subscribe in between the lines.